So Ben Simmons, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who everybody thought was going to be one of the best players in the world. Honestly, a lot of people thought he was going to win the greatest ever. And I don't think that would even been the craziest take. After his rookie season, if you predicted Ben Simmons to be a top 50 player of all time, it was gassing it. It was gassing it, honestly. But it is like, it wasn't that crazy. It was a bold take, but I think people would have said, you know what, maybe. But now, obviously, Ben Simmons is having a season where he's putting up them Draymond numbers. Like, on the year, he is putting up 6, 5, and 7. In fairness, he's passing the ball pretty well. And is this his best season in a while? Last season, he hasn't averaged over 7 points a game since 2021. And last season, he averaged 6 assists. He's averaging nearly an assist over an assist more. But he's averaging less rebounds than last year, but he's at least playing. He's played 27 games. So that's the thing when it comes to Ben Simmons, is that he's an NBA player. I'll give him that. He's an NBA player. But, like, I cannot believe this man right here. Ben Simmons calls out the Brooklyn front office for tanking. Man, like this, if you were yourself, if you were prime Ben Simmons, this team might have a chance of winning. The reason why the team is tanking is because they traded James Harden for you. They traded Harden for you, and the Kyrie situation happened, and then Kevin Durant wanted out because he had no chance of winning by himself. You are the reason they're tanking. You are the reason. They traded James Harden for you. That is the reason. You're calling out the Nets tanking strategy. You urgently prioritize winning despite front office's rebuilding plans. You are the reason they're tanking. If you were the all-star you were in Philadelphia, beside Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, and you had have played in the 2022 season when you were healthy, and the team beat the Boston Celtics in that series, which was the closest 4-game series ever. Like, every game was by, pretty sure every game was by less than, every game was by less than 5 or something in that series. But if you had just played and you showed up, they win that series. They might lose to Milwaukee in the next round, but that team doesn't get blown up. KD doesn't request a trade during the summer. If you lived up to your end of the bargain. Like, what are you saying? Like, I know it's kind of a rebuilding. We've got to go in there like we want to win, regardless of what the front office is expecting. I don't think the Nets team stinks. I'm not questioning the Nets' effort. I don't think anyone's questioning the effort of the Nets. And they spent the first chunk of the season in the play-in. Like, they are. They're 5 games off the play-in, sure. But until they got rid of Dennis Schroeder, they were in the play-in. They're not that far off the Sixers. What? They're, 3 games off the Sixers? And yeah, they're on a huge losing streak. They're 2-8 in their last 10. But look at the roster, man. Look at the roster. They're 28 in points, 29 in rebounds. They hit their best player is D'Lo. Like, D'Lo is their best player. Actually, no, Cam Johnson is. Cam Johnson's their best player. Let's be real. That's my fault. Their second best player is D'Lo. But, like, they have an injured DeAnthony Melton, Day'Ron Sharp, Noah Clowney, an injured Cam Thomas, Bojan Bogdanovic. How much is he even playing this year? Is he injured? Or is he healthy? Yeah, he hasn't played. He hasn't played this year. I was about to say, Bojan's... This team doesn't seem too bad. Like, and Nick Claxton, who's a non-factor on offense. A Ben Simmons himself, who's a non-factor. Man, you are literally averaging a triple single. Look, I mean this. This is Ben Simmons is playing basketball. It's the best Ben Simmons has played in 3 years. Because the fact is he is playing. He's going to play 50 games in a season for the first time in 3 years. Or in first out of 4 seasons, he'll play 50 games. That's the reality of the situation. And I say 3 years, but 4 years. Since 2021, Ben Simmons has barely played the sport of basketball. But the reality is that Ben Simmons, even though he's barely played the sport of basketball, he's still been, I'll say it, he's been a pretty damn good 8th up man this year. This is a season where it's like, okay, yeah, Ben Simmons will keep his spot in the NBA. This is the last season on his max deal. But he is like a 5 to 10 million max a year player. Maybe 5 million a year because of the non-shooting. I think that's the reality of the situation. But it's It's like the guy is so delusional. He still thinks he's Ben Simmons. Do we not remember the 2021? Do we not remember in 2021? If you guys remember 2021, subscribe. We're trying to hit 9,000 as soon as possible. We're 70 off. If we can hit that in the next 2 days, that'd be insane. But we have to take into account that Benjamin Simmons is still, right now, not that good. He's really not that good. And he's out here complaining about teams tanking and teams wanting to get a pick and the front office doing that. Man, this team is not set up to win basketball games, and that's fine. Nobody's questioning their effort just because you're losing. And do you want to know why, again, you're on a losing team, Ben Simmons? You are the reason you're on a losing team. Nobody else, you. Ben Simmons is the only reason why Ben Simmons is on a losing team. If Ben Simmons was good enough that a winning team would be willing to just take on his contract for a year, he would be on a winning team. That's the fact. That is a fact. If Ben Simmons was good enough to be on a winning team, he'd be on a winning team. Because he's in the last year of a contract. He is in the last year. He's on an expiring deal. Yes, he's being massively overpaid. But if he was good enough, teams 100% would be willing to take on that contract, even if it's a bad one, for 1 year to just get better. And then in free agency, see what happens. But no. When you have been as bad as Ben Simmons has been, and been paid as much as Ben Simmons has been paid over the last few years, you have absolutely no right to complain about your team not being good. Because if you were just better as a player, you would not be in that situation. That is a fact. In 2021, Ben Simmons was refusing trades. His agent was refusing trades, telling no teams other than the Warriors, the Lakers, and the Clippers. Because, and I quote, a young socialite like Ben Simmons needs to be somewhere like California. I need to get the actual quote. So, this is it from Reddit. Sorry, that's not the exact quote. It was a paraphrase by me. Ben Simmons reportedly wants to avoid playing for the Trailblazer Raptors due to being the young socialite that he is. He doesn't want to go to a bad situation. He's reading the tea leaves. He sees Toronto, sees Portland. Being frank, the young socialite he is, he's not looking to go to any of those situations. He's looking to go to California teams. So he could have gone to the Raptors, who in 2022 had Scotty Barnes and made the playoffs and nearly made the 3-0 comeback against the Sixers. He could have gone to Portland to play with Dame. And at that stage, did Portland still had CJ McCollum at that stage, didn't they? I don't know what that trade would have been, but it would have probably been to join Dame and CJ. I think, am I right in saying in 2021? Yeah, he was still playing with Portland. And him at his best, even in 2021, would have been a good fit there. But that was the year where he just stopped caring about basketball. The man was on a max deal, was showing up in practice with his phone in his pocket. If you've heard George Niang talking about it, he was like, man, I couldn't wait to play with Ben Simmons. Like, that's why I signed there. Like, I'm a shooter. He's going to find me. And after seeing Ben Simmons, he like basically cursed him out on a podcast and is like, no, you don't do this. Like, it's a mad out situation. It is really, really a mad out situation. But, it's so annoying. It's so annoying to see Ben Simmons talk about this type of stuff. Because when it comes to Ben Simmons, he is the reason for everything negative. And if you want to blame the agent, fine. But then you can work that around and say he hired the agent. The decisions made by Ben Simmons are the reason why Ben Simmons' career is in the place that he is. Ben Simmons had the potential as a rookie to be a top 100 player of all time. Even if you want to say top 50 was gassing it. He is one of the best rookies I've seen in my lifetime. He was robbed of an all-star. In my lifetime, I'm not joking when I say this, the best rookies I have seen. Ben Simmons was the best player on a 50-win team as a rookie. We have not seen that before. And throughout the whole regular season, we've seen like Tatum that same season and become the best player in the playoffs, but Tatum wasn't in that rookie of the year race. Donovan Mitchell was unbelievable. Donovan Mitchell is one of the best rookies I've seen in a while. But Ben Simmons, Blake Griffin might be the two best rookies in my memory. I'm too young to remember LeBron as a rookie. I'm too young to remember Melo. But Wembanyama, maybe. Wemby, maybe in that tier. But I'm still taking the Sixers have, their process had lasted 4 or 5 years. They'd done nothing, and then Ben Simmons comes in and he's just a phenomenon. But everything bad that has happened in Ben Simmons' career since 2021 has been caused by Ben Simmons. It has been caused by either his play on the court, his lack of care for the sport, his lack of aggression, his lack of confidence in his jump shot. I'll always tell the story when I went to watch him practice as a rookie. I went to see him practice against when they played the Celtics in London. Every single player on both teams, including guys that were never shooting the three ball, were doing shooting practice and stuff. He was scared to practice because the cameras were there. He is scared to miss if the cameras are there. So he was like running hook shots. He was scared to practice with the team. It was just a shoot around. He was scared to do it. And that's when I realized, I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy's maybe not built for it. And he's not. He wasn't. He's supremely talented, was not built for it. But at the end of the day, look, Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons. Screw him. See you guys.